A very good morning. You're watching News 9 with me, Akshita. Well, a serial accident between two Volvo buses has caused a major traffic snarl on NH4. The people in the auto have been injured and have been admitted to a local hospital. The accident has resulted in a major traffic jam in the area. We understand that there was a lorry which was which rammed into an auto, and soon after these buses which were right behind that tanker lorry trying to avoid ramming into the lorry swerved, and one of them hit the median while the other rammed slightly into the bus and moved to the left. So we understand that people have not been injured in the bus. However, the people in the auto have been injured. They've been rushed to the hospital. But also, of course, considering that we're seeing such heavy vehicles being involved in that particular accident, the buses are still very much on the road, and so is the lorry, which has led to quite a bit of confusion on that particular road. Of course, it is understood that this is the national highway, so people were driving rather fast, and considering that the auto was going slowly, it is understood that this tanker rammed into the auto. Soon after, the buses coming too fast to go ahead and stop, swerved to not hit the lorry, and they too met with an accident of sorts. So serial accident coming to light there. It is understood that the Volvo buses lost control and tried to avoid the tanker, and that's when they also rammed into the median, and another rammed into the bus before it and then moved to the side. So quite a bit of chaos witnessed on this particular road early in the day, and traffic has been severely hit is what we understand. Several people have been injured. They've been rushed to the hospital is what we understand. The cops are presently there. They are planning to go ahead and use some GCBs and the likes to go ahead and ensure that these buses are taken off the roads as soon as possible, so it stops hitting and affecting the traffic as such. This is in Nelamangala on NH4, so if you're headed anywhere there, do ensure that you do know there's a lot of traffic and that there are going to be a lot of blocks as such, considering of course the traffic is not able to move through all of that chaos. Things have calmed down relatively now. There's no word on whether the driver of the tanker has been arrested, but what we do know is that those who were injured have been immediately rushed to the hospital, and even eyewitnesses went on to state that quite simply it was the tanker's fault. So we will probably be looking at his imminent arrest soon.
ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಸರ್?
ಆಟೋ ಚಕ್ರದ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಹಾಕಿಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಗಾಡಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಹೊಡೆದು ಒಂದಕ್ಕೂ ರೂಪಗಲ್ಲ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಕೂಡ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಾಡಿ? ಯಾರ್ದು ತಪ್ಪು ಯಾರ್ದು?
And a fire earlier today broke out at an automobile shop in Bengaluru. Two fire tenders rushed to the Jai Hanuman automobile shop at Bagalkunte. The shop, located right opposite the BBMP office, is now swarming with firemen. The fire has been finally doused, and it is suspected that short circuit caused the fire. Fortunately, there were no casualties, and firemen managed to put out the fire before it spread to adjoining buildings. Of course, we do understand that nobody was injured. The fire was controlled within a matter of hours, and the firemen immediately deployed into service. There, two fire tenders were rushed to the spot. They managed to control the blaze, and no casualties, considering that this took place early in the morning. It is understood that short circuit could have led to this particular blaze. However, investigations are still very much on by the firemen. Now that they have managed to in fact control the blaze, investigations are on to find out exactly what took place, but of course the owner is someone who is very sad and completely at a loss of words, considering the kind of losses that he has suffered due to this particular fire. All the material inside that particular automobile shop has been gutted in the blaze. Fortunately, also the fire hasn't spread to any of the adjoining buildings, so they did manage to control it before it was a little too late. In fact, there were some times when it was rather difficult for them to go ahead and put out that fire, considering of course there was deep inside that automobile shop and they couldn't really reach the fire. They were seen trying their best to reach inside, and soon after they managed to put out the fire, they were also seen going ahead and conducting investigations to confirm whether it was a short circuit that led to the fire. As you can see, quite a bit of damage to all the goods that was inside that particular automobile shop. The firemen are still going through all of the stuff that has been gutted to find out if anything else could have led to that particular fire. But they are trying to also pull out all the belongings to see if anything can be saved. But going by the looks of it, everything has been completely gutted in that fire. So huge losses for that particular owner there, Shaker, who also rushed to the automobile shop when he heard about the fire. And moving on, after over a month of polling, we're less than 24 hours away from knowing the big result. So we bring you the latest from the election front with regards to what's happening in the entire country. With less than a day left for the counting to begin, many in the state are placing their bets on probable winners. But one candidate doesn't seem to have any takers. Here's who.
It is not just cricket that attracts betting. Even politics does. People across the state are placing bet on who the probable winner could be. But none seem to be interested in placing any bet on Mandya Congress candidate Ramya. This is what Mandya JDS candidate Puttaraju and his supporters are claiming just before the counting. It is being reported that none came forward to place bet on behalf of Ramya when Puttaraju supporters offered to place a bet on his behalf of up to 50 lakh rupees. JDS supporters are now a disappointed lot since they don't have anyone coming ahead to bat for Ramya.
ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಬೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗು 50 ಲಕ್ಷದವರೆಗೂ ಕಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯಾರು ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ದು 50 ನಿಮ್ದು 1 ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಬೆಡ್ಸು ನಾವು ಆಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸಮ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು JDS. ಯಾವ ಪಕ್ಷದಿಂದ ಕಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ? ನಾವು JDS ಇಂದ ಪುಟ್ಟರಾಜು ಅವರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
Reacting to this, Congress leader from Srirangapatna strongly chided the JDS and went on to state that Congress does not believe in betting since it is illegal and antisocial. He said that the results will come as the perfect answer to those who've been calling Ramya a worthless opponent. In all, political analysts and pundits are having a field day predicting the fate of star politicians in the state. But who will emerge victorious and help people win their bets is something that needs to be watched for. Ravi Lalipalya for News9, Mandya.
And arrangements are in place for the counting of votes in the Lok Sabha elections, which will start at 8 a.m. tomorrow. The 3-tier security will be provided to all counting centres in all constituencies across the nation. The personnel will be drawn from CRPF and State Special Police, among others. Policemen are stationed near the strong room containing the electronic voting machines ever since polling day. Apart from the state police, paramilitary forces have also been deployed. Around 90 CISF personnel have been camping at the centres to fortify the security. So, of course, the officials leaving no stone unturned to ensure that there is proper guarding of these particular strong rooms nearly 24 hours before we see the counting take place. Of course, we do understand that the 3-tier security has been brought in. The CRPF, the State Special Police, besides, of course, the others are going to be present there, including paramilitary forces, all of them guarding this particular strong room in every single constituency. So, the Election Commission has ensured that just a few hours before counting, everything is ensured that everything is in fact provided the adequate security. My colleague Harish joins us over the phone line with more information. Harish, we do understand that it's not just the Election Commission but also the IB that's issued some sort of a warning.
Yes, there has been a warning from the Intelligence Bureau about possible disruption to the counting process, and this is it's not clear at this point in time whether this has emerged from any specific alerts or any specific input, or rather just a normal alert that is issued by the IB. Every time there's a major counting or election process. Remember, these kinds of alerts have been issued earlier as well. So it's not clear if it's based on any particular input, but definitely the police are on a high alert, and you have 3-tier security for all the strong rooms and counting centers in Bangalore. In Bangalore, you have 3 major counting centers. That's SSMRV College, which comes under the Tilaknagar police station limits. That will be the counting center and strong room for Bangalore South. And you have RC College, which will be the counting center for Bangalore Central constituency, and nearby Maharani's Home Science College will be for Bangalore North constituency. So it is a three-tier security system, and the Election Commission has not just made arrangements for observers, but also people, others. Remember, you'll have a large contingent of polling agents as well. Agents from the party, the candidate itself can go inside the counting center as well. So all the arrangements have been made to make sure that the counting can be a smooth process. And even in Bangalore South, where remember on an experiment basis they have introduced VVPAT, the voter verification system, and that too has been made clear. The rules and regulations of that too has been made clear to the agents over there, Akshita.
Right, Harish. Also, of course, keeping in mind that we could see some chaos on the streets, any word on the kind of security that will be provided on major roads in not just across the country but in the city as well?
Yes, various security measures have been put in place, and as well as traffic restrictions around the counting center as well, whether it's the SSMRV College or the RC College and the Maharani College. There have been traffic restrictions put in place at these colleges to make sure that there's no traffic pile-up near any of these counting center, with people parking and going inside the stations, the counting centers. Only staff who are part of the counting process will be allowed to take their vehicles inside the counting booths. The rest will have to park it at the designated places a few meters away from the counting centers. And also the police are making sure that they can handle the huge crowd. Remember, every time a candidate wins in any constituency, especially in Bangalore, you have this culture of huge supporters thronging the center and taking the candidate in a procession. So the people are putting in, the police are putting in place enough security to make sure that they can handle that as well, Akshita.
Right, Harish. Thank you so much for joining us with all those details. And of course, strong rooms there provided the utmost security, keeping in mind that counting will be taking place come tomorrow. It looks like the EC is leaving nothing to chance. They're providing the best of security. We understand that it is a three-tier security. There will be CRPF Jawans, paramilitary forces, the State Reserve Police and several others present at the strong rooms across the country.